Chardale. That was pretty funny. That's like a dad joke. Ship Bob has a double meaning since ships Bob around. That's fun. John, Darcy. We've been chatting about this for a while, but we're finally here. This is great. So we're a couple minutes late, so I'll let you get right into it. John, introduce yourself first. Who are you? What do you do? And then we'll go to Darcy.
Sounds great. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Jonathan Snow, founder of the Snow Agency. Been in the e-commerce space for over 10 years, built an affiliate marketing platform, leveraging Instagram influencers, and then launched an e-commerce brand incubator. And after that, just slowly transitioned into becoming a full service performance marketing agency. After, we ended up scaling 9 of our own brands into 7 or 8 figures in annual revenue. And the Snow Agency was actually acquired a year ago by Avenue Z, a performance digital marketing agency. That was done about a year ago, but I'm Chief Innovation Officer now at the Avenue Z level.
I love it. You got the gorgeous Miami. The beach isn't behind you. That's probably in front of you, huh?
Yeah. No beach behind me. If I had the beach view from the office, I wouldn't be in the office. I would be outside.
I love it. Darcy, who are you? What do you do? All that.
Hello, I'm Darcy. I am a partner development manager over at Attentive. So I work really closely with John's team over at the Snow Agency, as well as the greater Avenue Z team and a number of other top agency partners of Attentives in enabling and encouraging use of the Attentive platform.
I love it. And if you don't know Attentive Mobile by now, or you just go by Attentive, Attentive.
Attentive it is Attentive. Attentive Mobile and Desktop. That's what they're going to tell people now. That's the tagline.
Yeah, you don't know Attentive by now. I mean, you're probably not in e-commerce. But anyway, so I brought these two together because I first reached out to John. I was like, John, we need to do a go-to-market panel. We do it for all these events. We want to learn how to make money off of partnerships. Okay, it's great. I like Attentive. I'm in their program, but I need to kind of create an operation and take this to market, meaning bring whatever I'm doing on top of, in this case, Attentive, to all of my clients and get them involved in the service, get them excited about it. Darcy's involved, maybe some other people at Attentive, a couple people on my team, and we're making money off this. We're selling services. We're driving business together. So there's a lot of words in partnership that you'll hear, like co-marketing and co-selling, which are great. But what does it actually mean inside of the agency, inside of the partner team? So these two, John said, you know what, Attentive, we actually did a bunch of these go-to-markets with Attentive, and it'd be great to have them on. So Darcy's here with us, and we're very thankful. So let's start with John. First of all, who are your partners now? What are you doing with your partners? What are some of the ways that you guys are working with partners, tech, and then agency? If you give us kind of the cliff notes of that.
Yeah, I mean, we have a ton of partners. I'm not going to mention all of them now. It would take up an hour, but we have 2 different molds of partners. We have our technology partners like Attentive, and then we have our referral partners. And these are people that actually might be a tech partner that refer us clients, or they could be consultants in the industry. They could be other agencies that many may view as competitors, but we get referred clients by them for services that they don't offer. So I would say, like, our tech partners, the best way to think about it, I mean, as a performance marketing agency, there are so many things that are essentially out of our control to be able to improve performance. And that's all dictated by technology. So let's say if we got a new client and their goal is to grow revenue or grow customer lifetime value, but they're not doing SMS, what are we going to do? Obviously we're going to find a partner that we trust with the best SMS technology to then have our clients sign up for it. And then we can manage their SMS program on that platform. So essentially enabling all of our clients to get better performance is how we leverage our tech partners. Tech partners also refer us clients as well. We have a ton of we're always on the same page about updates. Like, I think that's critically important with any tech partner. So their product is obviously changing on pretty much a month-to-month basis. And we're always, as a valued partner, we're always in the know before brands are even aware of the changes that are coming up. So that we're always best prepared to service all of our brands, and we're always a step ahead. So I think that's critical in any tech agency partnership relationship, is getting them the information they need ahead of time so that they can always be the expert and never fall behind.
Yeah, and are you working with, besides obviously Avenue Z, but at Snow Agency, were you working with other agencies in either a white label or just a, hey, I do this and you do that sort of referral sense?
Yeah, I mean, we actually referred some prospects out to other agencies if the client the prospect couldn't afford our services. We had other agencies that did great work that were at more economic rates that certain prospects could afford. So we would refer out for that reason. And before we offered some of the other services we now offer at Avenue Z, we did refer out for things like SEO. We still refer out for Amazon. We don't do any Amazon. So yeah, we find our trusted partners that do great work. And, obviously we need to be sure and do our due diligence that anytime we refer out, it's our name on the line. So you got to make sure that they're doing good work, that the tech that you're referring to them is going to work and, provide value rather than be a cost center.
Got it. And okay, so we want to kind of get the who you are and the persona and what types of partnerships you are working with. So tech partnerships, yes, you got your preferred tech stack. You work with other agencies that maybe do things up or down market from you, or do things a little bit more specialized than you, and have that referral business there. And Attentive, you guys, we're going to talk about specifically what a go-to-market looked like with you and Attentive, and what other go-to-markets look like from Attentive and their agencies. Darcy, what types of partners are you working with your team working with right now?
Yeah, so much like Snow, Attentive also has two distinct kinds of partners. So we look at both technical partners. So this is like a Gorgeous or an Okendo or a Shopify. And then we also have agency partners like Snow and the Avenue Z team. So even though they're divided into these two categories, both partners have a really key element in common, which is that they offer really strong complementary services to what we're doing. And when partnered with the Attentive product, strengthen the value prop for both parties by enhancing the customer experience. So ultimately, we try to pick partners based on mutual customer growth. So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, keep going. If you have a thought, finish your thought real quick.
No, I mean, part of the reason why we like working with the Snow team, the merchants that are on Snow perform really, really well when they're in the Attentive product. So as John was saying, we're trying to pick really thoughtful partners, and we're careful about what we're referring out because it's our name on the line too. One of the reasons why we work with Snow is because they do really great work. So that's something we try to keep really front of mind as we think about partnerships.
Yeah, I think if we just mention this, I think it's important, since you did mention the kind of qualifiers for should I be looking at partners as an agency. We always say, make sure you have operational efficiency. You've got operations dialed in. If you don't, do that first before you even start looking at adding partners to the mix, right? It gets more complex when you add third-party companies into whatever it is you're doing. And if that's what you're doing isn't really efficient and streamlined and just all those great operational keywords, then do that first. Make sure you are selling well. Like Snow was great reputation. Clients loved them, great word of mouth, and they were able to sell most of the business that came their way. If you can't sell and you don't have repeat sales, and retainers, I think, are a big important part of that. If you don't have repeat sales, probably not ready for partnerships yet. So get sales and operations dialed in, then go out and get partners. So let's talk specifically, John, back to you about going to market, right? So bringing, my definition, and everybody has their own, is bringing a new service to a new market or a new group of customers. So it could be a new service that you're building on top of Attentive to all of your clients, or maybe it's a new set of clients, a client persona that you're bringing a service that you sold other clients types to. But either way, you're bringing a new service to a new customer profile. And John, what are some of the examples from the Snow agency wherein you successfully incorporated a partner or multiple in a campaign in which you went to market with? Any examples that we can start?
Yeah, Attentive is the perfect example. So when SMS first really burst onto the scene a few years ago, we knew that this was something we had to be delivering for our clients. We were already doing email in-house, but SMS seemed like a very easy extension of retention marketing in general. So we went immediately to go start vetting all the different technology providers out there, so that we could choose our preferred platform. We didn't want to be spread thin across a bunch. So, our head of email and SMS, our head of retention, evaluated all these options. We decided that Attentive was the premier partner to go to market with. And from there, Attentive did an amazing job at just helping us sell the service in to clients. SMS, I don't know if everyone remembers, but it had a pretty bad stigma behind it initially. People were like, oh, we don't want to bombard people's phones with, messages. So Attentive provided us with a ton of sales material, decks, things that we could incorporate into proposals. Any type of like FAQs that they knew we would get, they would give us kind of like the objections to expect and how to address them. So things even like legal ramifications. I mean, they said, oh yeah, we have a whole, legal staff and process with very strict criteria, and gave us everything that we needed to confidently sell it and deliver a great service. Not to mention just that, but there's a huge value add Attentive gave us by giving our clients preferred rates. So if you went to Attentive directly, I don't know if I could be saying this out loud, but I'll just say it. If you went to Attentive directly, prices were such and such, but if you came through Snow, they were better. And maybe the opportunity there is that Attentive is confident if they have a preferred agency partner servicing a client, that retention of that client on their platform would be higher. So that was a huge value add. To set up a Slack channel, so we had literally real-time access to our Attentive CSMs, so that if anything came up, say we got stuck or we didn't know how something worked on the platform or had questions at all, we had literally 24/7 access, and we still do, to Attentive. So it made us feel really comfortable in delivering that service to our clients.
I was on mute because I was typing, but yes, highly recommend what John just said. Is you got a new partner, you're a busy agency, they want you to sell their, in this case, the tech solution, and go to market with them. Lean on your partner for those sales enablement assets. We have some tech partners that even create these unbranded folders and resource libraries where you can go in and say, hey, I need to warm up a new audience to why do SMS for mid-market manufacturing, B2B, XYZ, right? Well, you shouldn't be all alone in the creation of the why, of the nurturing asset. So Attentive, I believe, does this really well, and the best tech partners out there do this really well, is let us help you warm up that audience, right? Okay, so let's continue. So Darcy, comment on that, plus talk about Attentive's relationship with John and Snow from the go-to-market side. So where did you fit in? What were you actively doing while John was getting ready to kind of say, we're now in business, right?
Yeah. So I try to be as involved as I can from start to finish of going to market. So the moment Snow says, hey, we have this new lead, we're excited, we think they'd be a great fit for Attentive for either email or SMS, I'm in there saying, okay, look, here's what we know about this client. Here's what we know about other merchants in the space. Here's some best practices. Here are case studies. But in addition to the collateral John was mentioning, we also like to put together a why Attentive and agency versus just why Attentive. Because, like, to your point, we do offer those discounted rates for our top partners for a reason. We know that there's good retention. We know that the partners are going to do really good work, and then that comes back in folds through things like case studies. We also really like to amplify the work that partners do through something called Texts We Love. If a merchant on Attentive sends a really cool text, we like to amplify it. So a lot of that really good quality work comes from the partner. So where my involvement begins and ends, really, it's a circle. I like to be pretty involved through all of it. And the way that Attentive has built out its agency partner program is to be holistic in that regard. So I'm there at the beginning, offering any support I can through either similar merchants using Attentive or notes from my team if they've previously had conversations with the merchant. And then this also comes into play if Snow is pitching a merchant that's already on Attentive. I can go to my team and start to help leverage those relationships to supplement Snow's go-to-market plans in addition to where Attentives are.
Yes, exactly. And important to note, when you're going to market with a new tech provider, a new partner in general, but mainly agency to tech relationship, you're putting a lot of trust, a lot of faith. You're risking a lot. The tech company is risking a potential business element in that, and the resources they sunk in. But the agency, Snow in this case, if they share a $1 million client with Attentive, and Attentive drops the ball with communication issues or poorly threading emails even, and that client leaves Snow, that's $1 million out the door, right? And for Attentive, it's, yeah, it could have been a good user, but it's, the relationship balance is really important in the first go to market. From there, I think it becomes more reciprocal and leads come both ways. But early on, agencies are taking a big risk. So John, comment on what Darcy just said. And really the question back to you is, how do you make sure that your partner, tech in this case, is reciprocating as you're putting time, effort, money, bringing team members to the table, getting them into lunch and learns, paying your team members to show up for lunch and learns, all those things that you sink in. How do you make sure you're getting value early on from Attentive and any tech partner?
Yeah, I mean, the best way to put it is that they feel like they truly feel like an extension of our team. Anytime we do great work, like Darcy mentioned, they like to promote it. So we've had several case studies published by Attentive that now help us sell new business. We can include those type of case studies in any new prospects sales pitch, so that they're confident that we can operate on Attentive with excellence. We've co-hosted events. We've done a ton of co-marketing. So anytime you put two names together that, as third-party validation, essentially, it just builds trust together, and you kind of prop each other up. So it really is, I would say, just building that relationship, reciprocity, back and forth over time. I mean, trust is the biggest thing in any partnership, in life, in work, anything. So by doing those things and stepping out of your own lane and trying to do things for your partner definitely goes a long way and makes you feel confident to stick with that partner moving forward into the future.
Yeah, reciprocity has to be there the whole way. So make sure when you're talking to a new tech partner like Attentive, you saw these partner tracks. One of the slides was specifically stages. What am I doing during stage one? What are you doing? What's the reciprocity there? I'm going to pour time and resources. You're going to put me in some co-marketing content. Maybe you're going to bring me into your podcast or interview me for some spot on your blog. So it's important to just at least get clear on that. And if you're uncomfortable with how much resource and time and energy you're putting in versus how much you're getting at each stage, be honest about that. Make sure you're comfortable with what's going to happen at each stage and be very clear with your partner while you're putting together this go-to-market. So Darcy, we want to talk about the advice you have for agencies that are going to work with a tech partner like Attentive or any tech partner. What advice do you tell agencies that are coming in your funnel early on?
Yeah, I love that you're asking this question too, because there have been so many times where I've wished somebody would, because I feel like the best partners I work with are asking questions like this, are saying, how can we be the best partner to you that you are to us? And understanding that it's a lot more than transactional and it's such a holistic way to approach go-to-market. So my advice is to look at me as a true partner, not just, a vendor that's working with you in an auxiliary fashion. I am an arm of your biz dev team. I'm an arm of your customer success team. I'm an arm of your product team. There are so many things I can do to support you, even beyond just sending you a lead here or there. And I think that the best partners I work with and the best agencies in the space, in addition to doing great work, you absolutely want to be doing great work, because to your point, my reputation's on the line if I'm referring business to you. But the agencies that I like to work with the most, and I think the ones that perform the best, frankly, are the ones that look at me as an arm of their team. I have a Slack channel with the Snow agency. Lots of members of John's team will ping and ask questions about strategy. And thankfully, because Attentive's been doing SMS for a really long time, we sit on a mountain of data. That's why we built out this AI product, because we have so much data through which we can pull to offer best performing strategies. Agencies are the strategy experts. I'm here as part of your team to make you look like a hero to your clients. So my best agencies are the ones that leverage me for beyond just a lead here or there.
I love that. I love that. And it's very critical, just like any sale, any partnership, any relationship in life in general, is you got to make sure you know what the clear outcome, the goal is, you know what they are going to be doing during the process, you know what is the relationship in even a day-to-day sense? Where are we communicating? Where are referrals getting posted and sent? And who's my point of contact for this, and this? So get that really clear and outlined. But let's talk, John, more about the strategy and the tactics for, okay, well, you've got a big go-to-market with a new partner, and you're kind of warming up your audience, or you're doing some things with your current clients to say, you know what, this is going to be lucrative if it's successful. What are some of the things that you like to do, or make sure, even small things that you're thinking about during this go-to-market? What are some of the things you think about and make sure to check off and do when you're taking a new tech partner, building services on top, and then delivering it, or trying to deliver it, sell it to your customer base or a new customer base?
Yeah, I think the most important thing with any partnership, first of all, has to be a meaningful one. You don't want 1,000 partners that you're spread thin on, and you don't hardly ever talk to any of them. Maybe you use them once a year. Like, I'd rather consolidate that into your core partners that you're really going to focus on. Then understand, I think it's really important for both sides of the partnership to be really clear on expectations of each other, right? So I would say, like, the big three for us in general for partnerships: one, it's so that we can obviously refer out for something that will improve performance on the client. So, like, for a tech partner, we're trying to get our clients preferred rates, for the tech that we're referring out to. So that's a value add that we're getting. We're trying to get white glove service, so that, let's say something went wrong, like, say Attentive was down, or they had a new product, or that we were unclear on. We need to get preferential treatment as a partner of yours, that we can get answers quicker than if the brand was working directly with you. So that's the whole benefit of having, our weekly meetings, our Slack channels, our direct points of contact, where, if Darcy is out one day, we have a backup. So that's really important to us too, the white glove service. And obviously lead flow both ways, right? Like, Attentive is happy we're sending them a ton of leads, and we ask Attentive, hey, if brands are asking you on who a good service provider is, we'd hope that you'd recommend us. So lead flow is also important to us, and that's something that we track internally: which partners are referring us the most clients, which partners are we referring the most clients to. So you understand how much to invest essentially into each relationship. And lastly, it's co-marketing. So one of the biggest drivers of new business growth for us as an agency is all through thought leadership content, whether it be through me personally posting on LinkedIn, Twitter, or the company's blog articles, or word of mouth, referrals from our partners, co-marketing. Like, the more co-marketing you can do and get your brand and your partner's name out, the more business it's going to organically drum up for both of you. So that's really important to us. And I think as an agency, like a service provider, it's critically important to be a thought leader, or else, who would want to work with an agency that doesn't really have a thought leader, right? So yeah, those are the big three.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned that. I mean, I think, like, John's a thought leader. If you follow him on LinkedIn, he posts these amazing strategic, even like macro stuff, but really awesome stuff about TikTok, and really awesome stuff about e-commerce in general. So definitely follow John on LinkedIn, at least, probably on TikTok too. I don't have TikTok, so unfortunately, TikTok, sorry guys. I had it, but you sold me too much stuff. I had to delete it. So Chardell did mention something that's important. Choosing your partner types. It's not really a go-to-market question, but it's fine. We can address it. John, how do you make sure you're not spreading too wide in your bucket, like you're filling the right partner buckets, right? So he's talking specifically about geo buckets. Like, do you go and have a partner in Europe or in a specific country that you don't speak the language? What do you do with your partnerships to fill geo buckets?
Yeah, no, we don't go geo bucket, because everything is borderless in e-commerce. So, like, we have clients all over the world, we have partners all over the world. The way we approach it is for use cases. Like, we have a preferred tech stack for all e-commerce brands, where we know which partner we like for email, SMS, for upselling and cross-selling, for customizing shipping tracking pages, our 3PL, the list goes on, server-sided tracking solutions for our Facebook ad clients, things like that. I mean, data, who's our favorite data provider? They could be anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter. So we have our one or two preferred for each. Sometimes we do like to recommend 2 or 3. If we like 2 or 3 partners that are doing, essentially that are competitors, we like to put all of them in front of our clients and let them make the decision. So I would approach it for functionality rather than geo.
Yeah, and I 100% with you on the tech side. I'd say the caveat there is if you are working a lot with other agencies, you're an agency working with other agencies, I think there is value to say, there's certain countries where they're going to speak French. And, if it's a buyer from that country, they may speak a little English, but they're going to want you to have some French support for them, especially with strategic planning of a big e-commerce store launch, right? So you may have a really good French-speaking smaller agency that's there that you really trust and bring them onto sales calls and support calls and strategy calls. Japan's kind of like that. Latin America, most of the time, especially if they're in e-commerce, they're going to be speaking English for the most part. But certain countries, there may be a good reason for that. Darcy, any comments on that? Otherwise, we've got a couple final questions, and then we'll bow out here. Actually, no final questions, but any comments on all that?
No, I think this is why it's important to build a partner network and to make sure that you're going to events and always, I don't want to say always being on because that has some funny implications, but making sure that you're continuing to build relationships, and partnerships is about your network. Like that phrase, your network is your net worth. This actually came up for me recently. Somebody at Attentive needed a partner who led French SMS. And we were able to leverage a network to find an agency partner that is fluent in French and can manage a full program in French. So this didn't come through a partner that we were connected with directly. It was through another partner. So this is why these kinds of connections are really vital, and doing events like this and being part of, whether that's Partner Hub, if it's Smarter Ships, or wherever your network brings you, is vital to your success in partnerships.
Yeah, that's a perfect point. We call it land and expand is a good strategy. I posted the link there. But with partnerships, you want to create your tribe within an ecosystem that are going to help you surround the customers that you're trying to sell to and support the customers you're trying to sell to. So yeah, I think it's less geo. To John's point, it's more about pick that customer audience that you are going to sell really well to or currently selling well to, and find those that are really good in that ecosystem, the thought leaders, the agencies that are niching down and providing killer services, the tech stack that those buyers really like, and form those alliances, create that moat for your agency, and grow together, right? John, if you want to post any links that you want people to follow you, or you want me to post underneath the class in the course, Darcy, same thing, post those in chat. And then what I do at the end of these is I go through chat and I copy any of the questions and FAQs and links, and I'll put together the class. That will be the go-to-market discussion between you two. Any final things that we missed? Otherwise, you guys have been great. John, final thoughts?
No, thanks for having me. Partnerships are the most important thing for our agency since day one, and we've had a ton of internal buy-in from our teams too. So I think it's really clear to just re-emphasize that internally too. So if you're leading an agency, or let's say you're even just leading the partnership program, it's always important that everyone around you within your company understands the why behind why we have our partnerships. Deliver better service for our clients, provide extra solutions, white glove service, and to improve overall performance of everything we're doing. So
I love it.
That's it. And everyone can subscribe to my newsletter, as Alex mentioned. I try to share my insights as much as I possibly can. Weekly insights through my newsletter that I launched a couple months ago. I think I just finally sent out my 10th newsletter yesterday. So just drop the link in the chat here. So definitely give that a follow.
I'm going to post your LinkedIn link. And you mean, is it a LinkedIn newsletter, or is it like a Substack?
It's actually an email. Yeah, it's like it's a Beehive newsletter. So you just submit your email. It's free. Yep.
Yeah, if you're doing B2C stuff or e-com or TikTok, anything, just check him out. John's got some really cool stuff. Darcy, you've been awesome. Really good insights. We needed it from the tech side, from your side, and really awesome stuff. So attentive.com, right?
Yeah, attentive.com.
Partners, I'll find it here if you guys want to get involved. And find Darcy. Thank you both. You've been awesome, guys. Thanks a lot. Darcy, John, see ya. Have a good week. Enjoy the sun, John. I'm jealous, man. Bummer.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to go out in the cold now in Chicago. Take care, guys.
All right.
Take care.